Right, welcome to this short video describing a Perl script that I've put together, which works with our LMS here at Abdullah University, which meets a certain need which we faced. So what was that need? Well, we use an LMS at our university, much like many other universities. Our LMS happens to be Schoology. Lots of other institutions use Blackboard, Canvas, Moodle, Edmodo, and so on. They're much of muchness, really. They're quite similar. A bit about our program. We have a skills-based program. So reading, writing, listening, speaking are taught independently of one another. They're assessed independently of one another. And within each skill, there's many levels. There's at least 4 levels, going from A2 up to something like B2. And what we found was that it could be quite difficult with all of our instructors using our LMS. It could be quite difficult to keep track of what we had in our resources. Now, we don't use course books. We develop all of our own material. All of our material lives on our LMS, and it gets incrementally changed, or it gets deleted, it gets added to, it gets moved, it gets renamed, and that posed us quite a problem. That over quite a short period of time, courses would change quite dramatically, material would move up a level or down a level, and it just became quite difficult using this LMS interface to understand what we had, what we didn't have, where there were gaps, and so on. So you can see here, this is reading 2. We have a weekly topic. This is health. This is our lesson name, and then there's a text, there's a task, there's an answer key, and so it goes on. Yeah. So this is another topic. This is another lesson, and then if we look at a different skill, look at speaking, for example. Again, all of our resources. All of our teaching resources are on our LMS. Everything is here, and you have to drill down, and then you drill down, and then here is what you need. Yes, there's a PDF, there's some vocab, maybe there's an answer key. Anyway, it became quite difficult to see what we had. So the solution I came up with was a Perl script. A Perl script using an IMSCC file. So what is that file? Well, every LMS allows you to take a backup of those resources, and you can export that backup. Because providers understand that you might switch providers, you might move from Edmodo to Schoology, or from Blackboard to Canvas, and being able to take your resources with you when you've spent a lot of time on them, that's very important. So you can copy resources. How it works on Schoology is you copy them to your personal area, and then from your personal area you export them, and then you've got something like an IMSCC file here, which is created to a common standard. So whether you're using Canvas or Edmodo or whatever, the IMSCC file you get generated, it will work on any other LMS. You can export from Edmodo and import to Canvas. You can export from Canvas and import to Blackboard. You can export from Blackboard and import to Google Classroom. An IMSCC file is a standard format. It's not at all proprietary. And once you've got that file, then you're halfway there. Then there's a great deal you can do, but you still need some glue, if you like, to put it all together. And that's where this script comes in. So what does the script do? In a nutshell, it takes that IMSCC file, it iterates through every resource, and in the order in which they appear on the LMS's resources, it puts them into one PDF. So here we can see this is our Reading 1 booklet. If we just fast forward to page 50, so there's a text here. So there's one lesson, then a different lesson, then a different text for a different lesson, and so it goes on, and so it goes on. If we look at a different one, Speaking 3, for example, this might be one handout, then there's another handout, or an infographic in that case. This is a different handout, so it kind of concatenates them all together, and it puts them into one PDF which you can then scroll through very easily. Don't know why we've got so many pictures. You scroll through very easily, and you can see kind of in a flick test what you've got, what you haven't got, what looks ideal, or maybe what needs to be earmarked for revision. If we just take a brief look at one more, this is writing 4. Fast forward a little bit. So one handout with some exercises, SPRE, and then it moves on, and everything's together in one PDF. And we use these PDFs. We use them for development purposes. We also make them available to students. In the past, we would do a lot of the photocopying. We would take a bucket full of handouts to class with us. Now we've shifted that burden onto our students. We make them available to our students. They are responsible for printing them, and they are responsible for bringing it to class. So how does it work? Well, we've seen that you can get this IMSCC file from your LMS, and then once you've downloaded it, then you need something. You need a script which can then work with that, and that's where my AnalyseIMSCC script comes in. It's a Perl script. Perl is a scripting language. It's not such a hardcore language. It's fairly intuitive. It's fairly easy to get to grips with, and there are a lot of free libraries. Perl itself is free. It's free for Windows, Mac, any operating system you want, and a lot of these code libraries have been developed by professionals who have some time and some energy and who want to make the Perl experience a bit richer. They saw that something was missing, and they've contributed some libraries, and as a user, you can use those libraries in your code. So what does the script do? Well, we've seen that it puts it all together, but it does a lot more than that. First of all, it recreates the folder structure. When we unzip an IMSCC file, which I think we can do fairly readily, all you get is this. You get a load of directories which are not very intuitively named, which just have one document in them. And that's really not very useful. It doesn't give you the structure. It just gives you a load of directories here, about 266. But it's a start. And this is a really useful document. This is the manifest, and using that manifest, my script goes through and it recreates the folder structure as it exists on the LMS. So on the LMS, let's have a look. Yeah, so this is reading 1. If we go to reading 1, current program, reading 1. Course material, instructor's assessment. Course material, instructor's assessment. Okay, so there's a bit of sorting there, but that's by the by. So it recreates the structure. What else does it do? Well, it works with our word lists. We use the new general service list, we use the new academic word list, and we use the Pearson academic collocations list. And what the script is able to do, it's able to, once it's put all of the documents together, it's able to go through and actually highlight words that are important for our learners. So we can see in red, these are level important words, so style, cooking, beliefs. These words in blue, these are academic words. Can you believe that goat and wheat are academic words? And it also highlights academic collocation. So here, a significant part of something. Yeah, so learners' attention is drawn to this, and they should notice that these are words that are a fixed phrase. They're rarely broken up. And it goes on, and the time it would take us to do this manually is incredibly huge. And of course, there would be a huge margin for error if this were attempted manually. So the script goes through these documents. These documents are not highlighted on our LMS. We haven't highlighted them. The script that I've written It goes through. It goes through and it highlights, it styles the text, if you like. And that's a huge advantage to our learners. It's a huge help to us as well. It makes it clear to our learners that we take this vocabulary seriously, and it provides learners a helping hand in noticing the vocabulary. So it works with our word lists. It also, for each text, it provides a kind of inventory of that text. So let me show you what we're working with here. So this is a reading text, Life in 2035, and we break our reading lesson material down into a text document and a task document and an answer key. So we keep them separate, and that's done for a reason, which I'll tell you about very shortly. So this is our text, Life in 2035. Which unit was that in? That was in Unit 3. Let me just try to find that in the booklet. Here we are. Yeah, so we can see that the resource as it existed on our LMS is not marked up, and in the booklet it's been automatically marked up for our learners. But that's not all. It also provides a spreadsheet of important vocabulary. So it breaks down n-grams, which are kind of a poor man's collocation, so RFID chip. We can see the NGSL and the New Academic Word List vocabulary that appears in the text. So particle appears twice. Maybe we want to pre-teach that because that's an academic word that maybe we can't expect level 1 learners to know. Milk and smart are in our new general service list. They're in our band C bracket. Maybe we can't expect level 1 learners to know those. Maybe we want to pre-teach that. And chip. It also works with a CFR dictionary to highlight how many instances of vocabulary there are there. And we can see again particle. Particle is in the new academic word list. I think we saw here. And it's also been designated as a C2 level vocab. So definitely there's a need to pre-teach that. And the script goes through and it gives us unknown words, and maybe these are names or countries or whatever, but it's still useful information that we can use maybe when we're putting our vocabulary tasks together and deciding which vocabulary to pre-teach and which vocabulary do we want to maybe focus on afterwards to consolidate. So it does that, the script does that automatically, it generates that spreadsheet automatically. Each time it finds a text document or a tape script document. So this eat less meat, let's just try to find that in the booklet. I think it was back here somewhere. Here we go, yeah. So this is a bit longer. And the spreadsheet that was generated tells us about some collocations that exist in the text, natural resources, major challenge, clear evidence. If we unhide this, it even gives us the part of the speech. And then, like we saw with the previous example, so C2 occurs 5 times in the text. We probably want to pre-teach that. And as well as providing a spreadsheet each time it sees a text document or a tape script document, the script also generates an inventory for the whole archive. So this is our archive, reading 1. So which unit does it exist? Where is it on our LMS? There's some technical details. Our subtype, MD5. This is very useful in identifying duplicates. And MD5 is a file signature. Think of it as a fingerprint or as a signature, and each signature is unique. And if we see something is highlighted here, it means that this document exists more than once in that archive. And that's useful because we don't want duplicates, yeah. So we can find those, and we can take them out, and so on. It also looks into the metadata of the documents. Word, you will know, if we can see here, Word stores a whole lot of information about documents. It stores how many pages, paragraphs, lines, words, characters, and so on. And the Perl script can get to that, and it can report all of that in one spreadsheet. So you can see at a glance the word count of your text. Yeah, so here we've got one text at 800 words and one at 321. So huge difference here, considering we're talking about the same level, and considering we're talking about resources which are side by side. Now here we go. One is a text document, one's a task document, and one's an answer key document. So it's probably not so unusual. And here, this is 400 words. This is just over 500 words. And in this inventory, we can also, or the script also reports how many NGSL words are there in this bracket, NGSL total, how many academic words, unknown words, what percentage coverage. And if it's a text, if it's a body of text, for example, in a text or in a tape script, if it's listening, it can also use a code library. Let me try and find it. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yes, here we go, readability. This code library actually calculates readability indices, Gunning, Fogg, Flesch, Kincaid, and Flesch. Yeah? So automatically, programmatically, the script goes through iteratively each resource, and it reports the Flesch readability, Flesch, Kincaid, and the Gunning, Fogg readability indices, if it's a text or if it's a tape script. Now, there are a lot of websites that do that. You can copy and paste a text into a website and it will tell you the readability indices. But if you've got 100 texts and they're frequently changing, it's not feasible to copy paste up to a website each time. So using this code, this script, it reports it all automatically. And what it also does, it reports it in the footer on the PDF. And just get to the bottom. Yeah, here we go. So it adds a custom footer. For example, this is 409 words. The Gunning Fogg, 8.7. Flesch Kincaid. And the description is that this is a bit hard for this level. We have boundaries set up for our Flesch Kincaid. Let me remind myself of what they are. Yes, here they are. So if it's a reading archive, the minimum Flesch Kincaid should be 4 and the maximum should be about 6. Yeah, well, this is 6.67, so it's a bit hard, and it's been highlighted in the PDF as a bit hard, and that's also reported in here. So just close that. So yes, it creates a spreadsheet for each body of text, which breaks down the vocab details, and for the archive as a whole, it gives us an inventory to be able to see what it is. So the advantages of the script, a great deal. This PDF, we can make it available to students. We don't have to carry a great deal of photocopies. We don't have to make photocopies. We can put all of our documents in here, all of our course outlines go in here, course syllabus. A practice test can go in here, and we put this on a student group, and students download it, they print it, they bring it to class, and we don't have to bother with any of that. It's moved the cost of photocopying from our department over to the students. Yeah, and that's big. It's saved our department a great deal of money. Other advantages: vocabulary is highlighted automatically. That's a big help to our students, and these custom footers. These custom footers have a developmental role. If we can see that a text is too short, if we can see that it's too hard, based on our metrics, then we can fix that, and we can produce a new version, and we can send that out to our students in the next term. Disadvantages: there's a cost, there's a time cost in actually putting this script together. But once it's there, it's ready, it's easy to use, and there's very little cost in it. And the script itself, it makes use of a lot of free code libraries. It is the glue that brings all of those libraries together and meets a need in our context. And the script itself is free. It's available on request. David@ayliffe.com is where you can get it. Just drop me a mail and I'll send you the latest version. It's not the easiest beast to work with. It's not been coded for distribution. It works for our context, but there's no reason why it can't be. It can't be easily adapted. And like I say, an IMSCC file is a backup file that you will get from Schoology or from Edmodo or Blackboard or any decent LMS. So that's a little project that I've been working on. It adds value here at AGU. It's one of a number of solutions that I've helped that I've put together, and we find it useful in our department. And there's no reason why a similar solution, if not the same solution, can't be similar at other universities as well. All right, thank you.